Ever observed how some individuals navigate through life as if they possess foreknowledge of the outcome? They exude calmness, certainty, and resilience. Imagine if that could be your reality. There is a peculiar kind of magic in acting as if you have experienced something before. This mindset influences your body, voice, and overall presence, making you an unstoppable force. If you master this illusion, you will find that reality starts to align in your favor. In mere moments, you will discover a mindset transformation that allows you to look, speak, and lead as if you have successfully done so previously. First and foremost, this transformation enhances your confidence cycle. You stand at the gateway of greatness right now. Every expert began as a novice who made the choice to act as though they belonged. This represents your essential challenge: to advance with the confidence of someone who has already triumphed. By embracing this transformative mindset, you cultivate a powerful momentum within your consciousness. You exude confidence, sparking positive reactions from others, which in turn bolsters your confidence even further. This principle holds the power to revolutionize your life, as your subconscious cannot differentiate between real experiences and vividly imagined ones when you carry yourself with the assuredness of a master in their field. As you align your actions with your envisioned future self, consider the example of young Thomas Edison, who embodied this approach before inventing the phonograph in 1877. Despite having never created such a device, he proceeded with the methodical confidence of an accomplished inventor, moving step by step as if success were preordained. His certainty became a self-fulfilling prophecy. You too possess this capability. Transform your reality today by presenting yourself with poise, communicating with authority, and moving purposefully. Not waiting until you feel confident, but acting as if confidence already courses through your veins. Let your eyes, voice, and movements project certainty. Make decisions as one who knows the way. Your body will respond to your commands, and your mind will elevate to match your physical state. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, as noted in Hebrews 11:1. This powerful scripture encapsulates what Edison practiced, operating with unwavering certainty before any tangible evidence manifested. Your faith becomes the bridge that converts unseen dreams into tangible realities. The constraints that hold you captive have never been imposed by others. They were created in your own mind. Each time you murmur to yourself, "I cannot," "I am not prepared," or "I am not qualified," these seemingly innocent phrases become the iron bars that confine your potential. However, here's the reality: those limits are not genuine. They are agreements you have made with yourself. Today is the day to dismantle those agreements. Each act of self-doubt reinforces a cage that only you possess the key to unlocking. The key is to act as if, when you behave as though you have already secured success, when you speak with the conviction of a winner, and when you take action as if you have done so before, you begin to break down the prison of your own hesitations. This approach is not about pretending or deceiving others. It is about reprogramming your own mind to cease negotiations with fear. Your potential is independent of your past. Your current performance is not a ceiling, but a foundation. Beneath your habits and beyond your doubts lies an immense reservoir of dormant genius, patiently waiting to be awakened. The real tragedy is not in those who attempt and fail, but rather in those who aim so low that they never awaken the power within themselves. Confidence arises not from getting everything right, but from moving forward even in uncertainty, and discovering that you are capable beyond imagination. The belief that you are insufficient, inexperienced, or unprepared is a lie you have repeated so often that it sounds like truth. Nonetheless, these are merely provisional agreements and not immutable laws. Every expert was previously a beginner, and every skill deemed impossible can be mastered with time, focus, and belief. Belief is the seed, practice is the soil, and repetition is the sunlight. Nurture the right internal environment, and growth becomes inevitable. Consider Henry Ford. His formal education was minimal, yet his vision transformed the world. In 1932, when he demanded an engine design that engineers declared unfeasible, he remained unwavering. He instructed them to proceed with the conviction that it could be accomplished. After months of failure, Ford's belief never wavered. His mind was already positioned on the other side of the challenge. That mental posturing, acting with the confidence of a prior success, was the catalyst for achieving what seemed impossible. He acted as if, and that as if evolved into a tangible reality. Reflect on your own beliefs. What is the notion you have clung to that stifles your ambition? Identify it, name it, then invert it, document its opposite. Speak it aloud until your mind no longer shies away from it. Let your actions reflect this new truth. One courageous step generates evidence that rewrites your internal script. Embrace this truth. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, as stated in Philippians 4:13. This is not merely spiritual encouragement. It is an assertion of access to limitless strength and a reminder of the power within you that is not confined by fear, failure, or the past. Millions have shattered lifelong limitations by standing on this verse, not as a wish, but as a certainty. Therefore, today, refuse to engage in negotiations with your limitations. Challenge every thought that attempts to tether you to the past. Speak life, act boldly, and proceed as if success is inevitable, because when you genuinely believe, it frequently materializes. Thirdly, consider the principle of attraction. When you act decisively, as though you have traversed this terrain before, you radiate a rare and compelling energy. In a world characterized by uncertainty and hesitation, confidence acts as a magnet. People are instinctively drawn to those who seem to know their destination, even as the journey unfolds. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle. Your decisive actions attract attention, resources, and allies. These external forces in turn boost and amplify your efforts, enabling you to achieve results far beyond what hesitant action could ever yield. The reality is that the most successful individuals in history were not born bolder. They trained themselves to act despite their doubts. They moved while others hesitated, leaning into the unknown with faith instead of retreating into analysis. What distinguished them was not an extraordinary confidence, but a cultivated pattern of prioritizing action over paralysis. With each affirmative step, a more robust identity emerged. I am a person of action. I am a doer. And here lies the secret. Motion creates momentum. Once you begin moving forward, despite any uncertainties you feel, you initiate a sequence of events that propels you further along. Acting as if you have succeeded before interrupts the anxiety-laden loops of fear and overthinking. You transition from observer, those who wait, wish, and wonder, into the realm of doers, and the world rewards those who take action. Opportunity gravitates towards movement like gravity. Conversely, indecision and delay only foster further confusion and stagnation. This principle dramatically unfolded in the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. In the 1790s, a relatively unknown general, Napoleon frequently found himself outnumbered in battle. Nevertheless, he had mastered a critical force: decisive confidence. He moved with such authority that enemy commanders often believed he commanded a much larger army than he did. His soldiers, inspired by his unshakable demeanor, fought with greater fervor, speed, and fearlessness. Napoleon's belief in victory, expressed through immediate action, produced a psychological advantage far more potent than mere numbers. That same power is within your reach. Your energy influences others more profoundly than your words. Move with assurance, and those around you will mirror that energy. Strive to make decisions with greater speed than feels comfortable. Let go of the expectation for perfect information. You will never possess all the facts. Rely on the strength of your intuition. It encapsulates the wisdom of your subconscious mind, honed over years of observation, experience, and insight. While others deliberate, you execute. When they hesitate, you advance. This ability to move swiftly and with conviction becomes your distinct advantage, setting you apart in a landscape of indecision. Your pace becomes your path. In business, relationships, and life, speed coupled with purpose prevails. While others study the map, you're already scaling the mountain. Moreover, as you move, paths will emerge that remained obscured to the stagnant. Clarity does not precede movement. Instead, it follows it. Fixate your focus on divine wisdom. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil, as stated in Proverbs 4:25-27. This timeless scripture reminds us that power flows from focus. Distraction is the thief of direction. When you remain dedicated to forward momentum, with your eyes locked on the horizon, the noise diminishes, doubt relinquishes its grip, and the once invisible path becomes clear. Step forward today, not with reckless abandon, but with purposeful decisiveness. Act not because you are certain about every outcome, but because remaining inactive is no longer an option. Allow others to pause and ponder as you lead. Step forward and witness the world reshaping itself around the boldness of your actions. The mental transformation you experience is critical. The conversations you hold with yourself are not trivial. Instead, they are the architects of your destiny. More than any external influence, your internal dialogue steers the direction of your future. The thoughts you entertain, the words you silently or audibly repeat, and the tone with which you speak to yourself all shape your identity, influence your emotions, and affect every decision you make. When you act as if you have already done something, carrying yourself with the calm assurance of previous mastery, you disrupt the damaging cycles of doubt that have festered in your mind for years. This change rewires your neural pathways, forming a self-reinforcing cycle. Confident self-talk propels effective actions that yield genuine success, which then strengthens an even more powerful internal dialogue. Most individuals remain tethered to internal scripts they never conscientiously selected. Messages absorbed throughout their childhood, such as, "You are not good enough," "Do not stand out," or "Play it safe," become persistent background noise, mimicking truth. These self-limiting convictions, once beneficial for survival or acceptance, eventually evolve into jails of mediocrity. Yet, they are not permanent. They can be identified, challenged, and substituted through disciplined mental effort. This endeavor begins with rewriting the script. Speak to yourself as the person you are becoming, not as the individual you have been. When you address yourself as someone who has already succeeded, you step into the mindset necessary to actualize that success. This is not an exercise in delusion. It is a methodical approach to direction. You are not deceiving yourself. You are training yourself. Just as athletes visualize victory before entering the arena, you must mentally rehearse success beforehand. Use authoritative language. Exchange "maybe I can" for "I was made for this." Replace "I am not ready" with "I am rising to this challenge." However, be aware that this mental reframing necessitates relentless vigilance. You must observe your thoughts as carefully as a hawk surveys the skies. Self-defeating beliefs are insidious, disguising themselves as logic, humility, or caution. When doubts arise, such as, "What if I fail?" you must immediately counter with, "What if I win beyond my wildest dreams?" Do not permit fear to linger unchallenged. The brain absorbs what it hears most, so inundate it with visions of success until those images become instinctual. This is not fanciful dreaming. It is concentrated focus, the conscious act of programming your mind for power rather than paralysis. Few individuals exemplify this principle more potently than Andrew Carnegie. Born into crushing poverty in Dunfermline, Scotland, Carnegie arrived in America with almost nothing. Yet from a young age, he chose to speak, behave, and think like someone destined for greatness. While still a messenger boy earning meager pay, he cultivated the poise and language of the elite. This internal posture fostered an external perception that opened doors long before fortune arrived. People responded not to his poverty, but to the invisible confidence he exuded. That invisible stance, born from self-directed thought, ultimately manifested into a tangible empire. Carnegie's ascent was not a matter of chance. It resulted from the self-created identity he made real. You must do the same. Record empowering statements in your voice. "I am strong, I am focused, I am relentless." Listen to them routinely. Develop a personal creed that articulates not just what you do, but who you are. Recite it daily until your subconscious begins to accept it as reality. Eliminate hesitation from your language. I will try becomes I will. I hope transforms into I know. Speak life into your actions and program your nervous system for excellence by altering your internal dialogue. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he, as stated in Proverbs 23:7. This insight is not merely poetic, it possesses profound scientific and spiritual implications. You do not become what you wish for, but rather what you genuinely believe. The external world is shaped by your internal world. Andrew Carnegie did not wait for the world to acknowledge him. He forged his reality through steadfast self-image. You too can accomplish this. The challenge before you is both simple and radical. Become the master of your inner dialogue. Speak only what empowers you and believe only what uplifts you. Act as if the outcome is already written in your favor, because once you do, your thoughts transition from hopes to blueprints. Your words shift from noise to commands, and your mind, once a foe, becomes your most faithful architect of destiny. Your body does not merely reflect your mental state, it actively creates it. Each gesture, posture, and breath serves as a command to your nervous system. When you physically conduct yourself as if you have already mastered a skill, something extraordinary occurs. Your body communicates to your brain, "This is who I am," and your brain, ever attentive, responds, "This is not a metaphor, it is a biochemical reality." Standing tall, moving with intention, and maintaining powerful posture can alter your hormonal balance within moments. Testosterone levels increase while cortisol, the stress hormone, declines. Confidence is not only felt, it is triggered, ignited, and sustained through physiology. The connection between physical stance and mental state cannot be overstated. Science repeatedly supports what great leaders, warriors, and performers have known for centuries. Your body is not a mere passenger on your journey to success. It acts as a co-pilot. When you maintain an upright stance, establish steady eye contact, articulate clearly, and walk with intention, you signal to both your mind and the outside world that you are in control. These actions influence the very chemicals that dictate how you think, feel, and perform. It's not about pretending, it's about embodying. Master the essence of embodying success before it manifests visibly. Practice the posture of confidence until it becomes second nature. Carry yourself like the individual you wish to become. Your handshake, stride, and voice are not random. They are instruments that either amplify your greatness or dilute your impact. Train them, refine them, and wield them purposefully. Start with your walk. How would someone who has achieved your goals enter a room? Slow down. Command space. Let your steps be deliberate. Next, refine your posture. Straighten your spine, unclench your jaw, and open your chest. These modifications send signals of strength and calm to your subconscious. Subsequently, adjust your tone of voice. Speak at a slower pace. Emphasize important words while eliminating fillers that detract from your authority. Greet others with eye contact and conviction. These subtle shifts serve as building blocks of an unshakable identity. Olympic champion Jesse Owens exemplified this principle. At the 1936 Berlin Olympics, in the presence of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime, Owens carried himself like royalty. The atmosphere was hostile, the pressure immense, yet he approached the starting line as if he owned it. Watch the footage, and you'll notice the stillness, focus, and deliberate rituals preceding each race. This was not mere accident. Owens conditioned his body to feel victorious before the starting gun fired. He visualized success, breathed like a victor, and stood as one. When the time arrived, his body delivered the performance his mind had already accepted as truth. Your body serves as the stage for your mind's beliefs. It either strengthens your inner power or sabotages it. You can start right now. Straighten your spine, draw your shoulders back, elevate your chest, breathe deeply from your diaphragm. Inhale confidence and exhale hesitation. Move through your surroundings as if opportunity is observing, because it is. Your physical presence broadcasts your identity, and others perceive it long before you speak. Allow this shift to extend to your voice as well. Slow down your speech. Embrace pauses. These create power and render your communication more deliberate. A confident voice does not rush. Instead, it demands attention through clarity, resonance, and poise. These are not traits reserved for the elite. They are choices available to you every day in every interaction. The Apostle Paul once wrote, "I discipline my body and bring it into subjection." 1 Corinthians 9:27. He recognized that the body is not just a vessel. It is a purpose-driven tool. Mastery requires not only spiritual or intellectual strength, but physical control. Discipline in your posture, breath, and movement is not cosmetic. It is sacred. It aligns your external reality with your internal vision. So, take command of your body today. Do not wait for someday. Your cells are attuned to the narrative your body conveys. Ensure it is a tale of triumph, strength, and clarity. Walk as the person you are becoming. Speak as the leader who already exists within you, and stand as the champion whose victory is inevitable. Your disciplined body today will become the force that propels your mind toward greatness tomorrow. The Alliance Force is vital in your journey. Surround yourself with those who recognize not only who you are, but also who you are becoming. Human potential is realized not in isolation, but in the context of a supportive community. When you act as if you have successfully achieved something in the presence of encouraging allies, you enter a feedback loop of empowerment. Their belief in you strengthens your self-image, and in turn, that renewed confidence enhances your performance, reinforcing their belief further. This cycle becomes a momentum that feels nearly unstoppable. The individuals closest to you shape your perception of what is normal. Their expectations, habits, and mindsets subtly influence your behaviors. If your interactions consist of people who complain, settle, and shy away from challenges, you may gradually adopt the same tendencies. However, if your circle consists of individuals who dream big, take bold actions, and refuse to be average, their standards transform into your own. You begin to internalize their confidence, resilience, and ambition, absorbing their vocabulary, routines, and mindsets subconsciously. Their world becomes your world through the power of association. Seek at least 2 individuals who share your hunger for growth, excellence, and contribution. Meet regularly, not for casual exchanges, but with purposeful intention. Share insights, set challenges, offer accountability, and celebrate progress. The collective energy of a small group, when focused, becomes a multiplier. Ideas evolve faster, courage grows, breakthroughs occur sooner. You will progress further, faster, as a unit than you ever could in solitude. History offers compelling examples of this truth. Throughout the early 20th century, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Harvey Firestone, and other titans formed a mastermind group that convened regularly. These were not aimless conversations. They were dynamic sessions of innovation, brainstorming, and personal refinement, fueling the Industrial Revolution and challenging one another. Importantly, each member acted as if they belonged at that table, instilling confidence that became self-fulfilling. The association itself conferred identity. Within their presence, greatness morphed from mere possibility to expectation. Your life mirrors this dynamic. Start by identifying the 5 individuals with whom you spend the most time. Assess their influence. Do they elevate your aspirations or quietly undermine them? Do they invigorate your ambitions or deplete them? Then, make a deliberate choice. Seek out those who embody the future you desire. This might involve joining professional groups, engaging in mission-driven volunteer opportunities, or pursuing mentorship. Search for coaches who have accomplished what you intend to achieve. Do not leave your environment to chance. Proximity is power. Position yourself where growth is normative and excellence is anticipated. This principle is not only psychological, it is also profoundly spiritual. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another, as stated in Proverbs 27:17. This reveals a universal truth about human development. We are refined through our relationships. When alone, we stagnate. In the company of the right people, we are honed and strengthened. The relationships you nurture will demand your best and empower you to deliver it. They perceive your potential and encourage you to rise to meet it. Every interaction has the power to shape or dull you. Therefore, your circle is not a trivial detail. It is a decision that defines your destiny. Choose companions who remind you of your greatness when you lose sight of it. Surround yourself with those who challenge you rather than let you shrink. Choose individuals who celebrate your growth, not your complacency. Seek out those who believe your most remarkable days lie ahead and will aid you in striving for them. Begin today. Call upon one person who inspires you and schedule an intentional conversation. Attend an event where leaders gather. Join a virtual community of high achievers. If no such group exists, create one. Do not wait for the perfect assembly. Transformation does not occur in isolation. It thrives within ecosystems characterized by belief, accountability, and shared purpose. Just as the great minds of history forged their paths through communal effort, so must you refuse to journey alone. Act as if you already belong among greatness, and soon enough, you will. Acting as if you have achieved something entails not just a mindset. It is a skill that must be nurtured daily. Many mistakenly believe that confidence comes first and action follows. In reality, sustained, aligned actions build confidence layer by layer. Each small decision to engage in your craft and reinforce your vision through practice declares who you are becoming. Over time, these small, consistent choices create a compound effect. Discipline builds skills, skills translate into confidence, and confidence fosters deeper commitment. Greatness is not born from fleeting inspiration. It is shaped in the shadows when no one is watching, when applause is absent, and when your only motivation is the vision you hold of your future self. The key difference between amateurs and professionals rarely lies in talent. It resides in their commitment to daily, intentional practice. It encompasses the discipline to act in alignment with your goals, even on days when motivation wanes. Such relentless consistency transforms your self-concept from hope to embodiment. To act as if signifies training your entire being, mind, body, and spirit to function at a higher level than your current reality might justify. This training manifests through unyielding daily rituals. These practices are not arbitrary. They are sacred commitments made manifest. Begin each day with a moment of visualization. Visualize your success, your performance, your achievements. Then speak vigor into your goals through affirmations voiced aloud with conviction. Study the masters of your field. Investigate their daily habits and imitate their dedication. Finally, consistently practice the fundamentals that distinguish you. Legendary pianist Arthur Rubinstein exemplified this principle through astonishing dedication. He upheld an intensely disciplined daily practice regimen, even in his 80s, reworking challenging passages repetitively until they required no deliberate thought. His playing appeared effortless, not due to nature, but because it was diligently refined through toil, solitude, and the pursuit of excellence. Before gracing the most prestigious stages worldwide, Rubinstein trained with the intensity of someone who had already achieved greatness. This encapsulates the essence of acting as if, do not wait for greatness. Instead, conduct yourself as though that greatness already resides within you. Your life mirrors this principle. Your habits announce your identity to the universe. If you rise an hour earlier than necessary and invest that time in your development, be it reading, exercising, or rehearsing your skills, you are expressing your identity magnificently to the universe. That early hour becomes your sanctum. In that peaceful time before the world demands anything from you, you program your mind for success, fortify your body to fulfill your dreams, and prepare your skills for the moment opportunity arises. Establish your morning routine as non-negotiable. Begin with breathwork or meditation to ground yourself. Chant your goals with fervor. Visualize your performance. See it vividly, feel it deeply. Then awaken your body through intense training. Finally, absorb wisdom by studying books, listening to lectures, and exploring strategies. Ensure each step of your morning ritual aligns with the person you are becoming. These incremental daily improvements might not feel momentous initially, but they accumulate over time. Eventually, the compound effect transforms you into someone unrecognizable compared to your former self. This principle is ancient, timeless, and irrefutably true. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Luke 13:10. In essence, the manner in which you handle the unnoticed, celebrated, and mundane disciplines serves as a preview of how you will manage greater responsibilities. Rubinstein was not born a master. He earned that distinction through years of unwavering commitment to the process. Similarly, your dedication to the small will form the foundation for your greatness. Therefore, do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for the world to recognize your efforts. Rise early, work with purpose, and repeat daily. Let your habits articulate your journey. Act as if you have already arrived, and before long, you will find that indeed you have. The strategic modeling approach is vital for your progress. The quickest route to mastery is seldom a path defined by trial and error alone. Rather, it is forged by following the steps of those who have successfully traversed that terrain. By systematically adopting the methods, habits, and thought patterns of experts, you create a potent trajectory for your own advancement. Swift results arise, and those early victories cultivate your confidence. As your belief in your capabilities flourishes, you become audacious enough to innovate, refine, and ultimately surpass your original models. The journey from imitation to innovation commences not in resistance to influence, but in intentional, respectful emulation. Virtually every great achiever began as a student of someone else's brilliance. This pursuit is not mindless copying. It is strategic modeling, standing on the shoulders of giants to gain perspective. The novice who imitates wisely absorbs decades of experience within a fraction of the time. The learning curve steeply inclines. What could take years through disorganized experimentation can be condensed into months through focused emulation. The paradox is that originality often emerges from imitation performed thoughtfully. Investigate the morning customs of your role models. How do they commence their days? What do they read, ponder, and undertake before the world awakens? Scrutinize their decision-making patterns. How do they prioritize, handle stress, and navigate uncertainty? Discover their time management systems. What do they accept and what do they decline? Observe how they solve problems, communicate, and carry themselves. Success leaves clues, and those clues become your blueprint. During the initial stages of your development, resist the urge to customize prematurely. The apprentice adheres to the recipe. Only the master diverges. Entirely adopt the strategies of your selected mentors before you begin modifying them. Let their routines become your training grounds. Through repetition and practice, the methods will integrate with your nervous system. Eventually, without conscious effort, they will evolve into something uniquely your own. Pablo Picasso perfectly embodied this principle of modeling. Long before he revolutionized the art world with Cubism and became a symbol of creative audacity, he studied the classics. Initially, he mastered the rigorous techniques of traditional European art, producing painstakingly realistic work. Then he spent years absorbing the styles of great artists, learning their brushwork, themes, and techniques. Good artists copy, great artists steal, he reportedly stated, not to glorify plagiarism, but to emphasize the depth of understanding required to assimilate another's approach. Picasso's brilliance was not born in rebellion against tradition. It arose from an exhaustive mastery of it. His innovation was the reward for his disciplined effort. Your path to authentic excellence will resemble this journey. Identify 3 individuals who reflect your highest aspirations. Study them meticulously, read their biographies, take notes on their routines, habits, and mindsets. Then, begin to implement their practices. Initially, it may feel foreign, as if you are wearing someone else's clothing. However, through repeated action, these practices will become comfortable and shape your identity. You will not lose yourself in this process. Rather, you will uncover aspects of yourself that remain dormant until awakened by discipline. Modeling does not render you a clone. It provides structure and a solid foundation upon which to build your creativity. Just as an architect must first master geometry before designing breathtaking buildings, you must understand the fundamentals before attempting to innovate. The Apostle Paul recognized the value of this concept when he stated, "Follow my example as I follow the example of Christ." 1 Corinthians 11:1. This statement is not a call for blind imitation, but a wise alignment with a proven path. As Picasso drew upon the mastery of those who came before him, you too must create your foundation by walking alongside those who have already arrived at your desired destination. Eventually, you will surpass your initial models, and your unique blend of experience, insight, and discipline will birth something original. However, you cannot skip the apprenticeship phase. True originality flourishes from the soil of imitation. Honor this path, embrace the process, and study the greats until their greatness becomes part of you. Then, and only then, will you create what only you can bring to life. Acting as if you have already achieved something does not commence with external behaviors. It starts with inner clarity. It begins with envisioning the outcome before it exists, holding that vision with such clarity that all challenges appear insignificant. Your imagination is the most transformative force at your disposal. Focus not on fantasy, but deliberate creation. When you consistently visualize your desired result, even amidst contrary evidence, you activate a powerful cycle. Your clear mental imagery guides your behaviors. Effective actions yield results that, in turn, reinforce the vision that inspired them. This is the virtuous circle of vision. The most successful figures in history, visionaries, inventors, artists, leaders, boast the rare capacity to see their future reality with unwavering clarity. They did not escape failure, rejection, or ridicule, yet their minds were trained to regard these setbacks as passing clouds against a bright sun. This mental discipline transforms that which appears unattainable into something that simply has yet to occur. The more vivid and emotionally charged your inner imagery is, the more power it wields to shape your physical environment. Visualization is not passive daydreaming, it is active programming, a rehearsal for greatness. Set aside a few minutes each day, morning and night, for focused mental cinema. Picture yourself performing at your utmost level. Hear the applause, feel the emotions, experience the victory. Create a cinematic portrayal of your future that becomes so compelling that it feels more real to your nervous system than your current experience. As your subconscious accepts this vision as truth, it will begin to implement subtle adjustments to your thoughts, words, and actions. These changes will accumulate. Action follows belief, and belief is reinforced through vivid imagining. Walt Disney continually faced financial challenges, skepticism, and logistical obstacles. Nonetheless, Disney's vision was so detailed and specific that he could traverse barren land and precisely describe what would one day flourish in that space. While others perceived rubble and failure, he envisioned castles, parades, and the sound of children's laughter. Investors derided his Disneyland concept as foolish fantasy, yet he persevered. He acted as though the park already existed, narrating its layout, themes, and experiences. His conviction was so infectious that eventually, others began to see what he envisioned. Disneyland opened in 1955 and transformed the entertainment industry. This success was not mere chance. It was vision manifested through conviction. You possess the same power. Construct your inner world with intention. Create a vision board brimming with images that symbolize your aspirations, locations, experiences, achievements, and relationships. Examine it daily. Script your goals in the present tense as if they have already been achieved. I am earning. I have launched. I live. Articulate these affirmations aloud every morning and evening with emotional intensity. Anchor these affirmations in your being by breathing deeply as you say them. Allow your vision to become so vivid within you that the external world has no choice but to conform to it. Equally important is safeguarding your vision. The world teems with critics and doubters. When others ridicule or question your objectives, do not dilute your dreams to appease their comfort. Instead, fortify your conviction. Their doubt is not your truth, and it never was. What matters is that you perceive it. Write down the revelation and make it plain. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will surely come and will not delay. Habakkuk 2:2-3. This divine guidance mirrors the practices of Disney and other visionaries. Clearly articulate your vision, document it with faith, and act in accordance with its inevitability. A delay is not a denial. It is preparation, alignment, and anticipation. When the appropriate moment arises, your vision will materialize. Hold the picture close. Do not allow it to fade. Do not permit setbacks to cloud it or mockery to diminish it. Strengthen its clarity and intensity with each stride. Fuel it with emotion, progress toward it with action, and declare it with authority. Act as if it is already accomplished, because in the realm of belief, it is. The most profound secret to achievement lies in initiating the journey before feeling fully prepared. As you take that first uncertain step, acting as though you know your direction, you generate powerful momentum. Action invites feedback, which fosters learning. Learning cultivates genuine competence. Most individuals wait for confidence before taking the first step, unaware that true confidence emerges only through experience. This paradox ensnares millions in a cycle of perpetual preparation. Masters understand that the bridge is built while walking across it, derived from direct engagement rather than endless strategizing. Take imperfect action right now. Embrace the awkwardness of being a novice, holding knowledge that this phase is temporary. Every expert you admire once endured the embarrassment of their initial attempts. What separates them is their willingness to weather this uncomfortable phase while maintaining the demeanor of someone on the path to mastery. At the age of 65, Colonel Harlan Sanders began traveling across America with his pressure cooker and signature spice blend, preparing chicken for restaurant owners after experiencing numerous failures. He confronted over 1,000 rejections before someone finally endorsed his Kentucky Fried Chicken concept, without any certainty of success. Nevertheless, he proceeded systematically, believing that establishing a restaurant empire was simply about executing the right steps in order. He made plenty of mistakes, but retained the attitude of one who was bound to succeed. This combination of humble learning and confident execution characterizes all great achievers. Your readiness to begin before feeling equipped differentiates dreamers from doers. Take your first small, definitive step toward your vision today. Announce your intention publicly to create accountability. Commit to a specific deadline for your first milestone. Embrace mistakes as invaluable learning experiences rather than proof of inadequacy. Forward movement, even if imperfect, generates momentum that overcomes initial resistance. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. Ecclesiastes 11:4. This age-old wisdom addresses our tendency to wait for ideal circumstances before taking action. Just as Colonel Sanders refused to be deterred by age or rejection, this scripture emphasizes that success is reserved for those who proceed despite uncertainty, not those who withhold action until all doubts vanish.